Hi everyone, this is Dave from DailyTechTV with another Q&A session for you. And in this video, I've got a really good question. So let's get on with it. This is from T.I. Renaud. Hi Dave, why did you switch back to Canon? I've used both Canon and Nikon and find Nikon so much better for photography. For video though, Canon rules the way. Also, any thoughts on the Canon GX1 and the Fuji X Pro? Well, let's answer that second question first. Thoughts on the Canon GX1. This is the new PowerShot flagship model. Wow. All I can say is wow. Now, I'm a sucker for technology, and I'm even more of a sucker when it includes photography. And you know I've got the little Canon PowerShot S100, love it. GX1, I've got to get one. I've got to get one. This is the new larger sort of PowerShot model from Canon, and it looks absolutely awesome. Does 1080p video. I think only at 24 frames per second, but I can live with that. And it looks like a lovely size camera, so good handling on it. Larger sensor as well, so that's going to rock. Fuji X Pro, very expensive, $1,000. It's going to be what? About £799 in the UK. It does offer up this hybrid viewfinder, so you can have optical viewfinder, electronic viewfinder, or you can have optical viewfinder with the electronic information overlaid. Looks absolutely fantastic again, but I don't think I'm going to be able to afford or actually get one in. Unless Fuji are watching this video, want to send me one to test, please. Back to your question about why I switched from Canon. You really answered your own question. I'll tell you why, because you touched on it in your comment. You said, for video though, Canon rules the way. And you also said in your comment that Nikon, you find Nikon so much better for photography. Well, I've got to disagree with that. Everyone is entitled to their opinion and everyone has a favourite. That's why I sort of switched back, although Canon isn't necessarily my favourite, but I just chose to switch. But Nikon is not better for photography. If you give an excellent photographer a cheap point and shoot rubbishy camera, they will still create a brilliant photograph. If you give a rubbish photographer or a complete amateur who doesn't know how to do composition, lighting, or a whole myriad of different issues, if you give them a £5,000 camera such as the new Nikon D4, they won't produce a good photo. So it's really down to the person behind the lens as to what sort of photos are achieved. But you say you prefer Nikon, that's fine. You also said about Canon ruling for video, and that is why I switched back. I love my photography. The Canon 60D, which I switched back to, still serves me very well indeed for my photography needs. But when it comes to video, it just gave me that edge because it shoots progressive video, also gives me control over the audio levels, which is very important for what I do. That's not to say I won't ever consider a Nikon camera again, because using the Nikon D4 as an example, if I had the money, that would be in my shopping cart straight away. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what Nikon do with the sort of lower end camera, or the camera that would sit just underneath that Nikon D4. I'm also looking forward to seeing what Canon do with the Canon 7D Mark II. So who knows, I might switch again. Yes, I have invested in lenses with Canon again, but when I made the switch from Nikon to Canon, I managed to sell my Nikon body and the lenses for very little loss, so I didn't have to actually add too much money to make that switch. Brilliant question, and I could talk about photography all day, so if you've got any more photography related questions, leave them in the comments below and I will try and answer them in a future video. Until then, I will see you in the next video.